been a minute since we've done this, especially doing it live. I hope the stream works out. I've been having computer problems. Well, I guess we'll see. Let's see. I don't even have that logo open, but I did acquire us a frequency. 7.241. This is KJ5GVQ, the Raw Ham, calling anybody anywhere for the Raw Ones net, little rag chew net we started back around middle of January. Just a little rag chew net. We can come have some fun, talk about what's been going on and how life's going your way, hopefully. CQ for the Raw Ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in a log. Anybody, anywhere. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec, the Raw Ham. We'd love to get you in a log this evening. Anybody, anywhere, please come with your call. CQ for the Raw Ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in a log. Just simple little rag chew net. We'd love to hear from you. Please come now with your call. CQ for the Raw Ones. Anybody, anywhere. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec, the Raw Ham. We're streaming live on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you this evening. Please come now with your call. How you doing, QOP? I'm thinking that's Kevin up there. Yeah, I see you call now. Glad you rolled in there. How's the audio and the video? Is it locking up? I've been having computer problems. Yeah, 7.241. 7.241. I'm hoping you can hear me. Anybody, anywhere for the Raw Ones, please come down with your call. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec, the Raw Ham. This is KJ5GVQ, the Raw Ham. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in a log this evening. Simple little rag chew net. Please come down with your call. CQ for the Raw Ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in a log. Please come now with your call. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec, the Raw Ham. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in a log tonight. Please come with your call. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to hear from you. Please come now with your call. This is KJ5GVQ to Raw Ham. Looking for check-ins. Anybody, anywhere, please come down with your call. Check-ins, check-ins, check-ins for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you on the log. Please come down with your call. This is KJ5GVQ, hailing from Oklahoma. We'd love to talk to you this evening. Love to get you in the log. Anybody, anywhere, please come down with your call. CQ, CQ, CQ for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to hear from you. Please come down with your call. CQ, CQ for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you on the log tonight. Please come with your call. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec to Raw Ham, looking for check-ins for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere, please come with your call.
Kilo 2, Sugar Hotel, November.
All right, I believe I got Kilo 2, Sugar Hotel, November. QSL?
QSL, name is Mike, Mexico, Italy, Kilo Echo, and CTH is Can you call?
Yeah, roger that, Paris, Arkansas. I'm not familiar with where that's at. I'm located over here just north of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Got a decent copy on you with these band conditions. It's pretty rough.
No, QSL, familiar with where Shawnee is. I'm a retired truck driver, so I've been across the big highway once or twice. Anyway, I'm about 40 miles east of Fort Smith, here in the Arkansas River Valley at the bottom of Mount Magazine. Over.
Yeah, roger that, Mike. Roger that. Name's Richie on this end. Me and a few of my friends started this net back about middle of January, and it's kind of had its ups and downs, especially with band conditions being what it is. It's really kind of down now. But you coming through the noise pretty decent. I guess about a 5.7, 57 over in my way.
No, sure. So you're about the same here, about a 5 and 7. Running a Yazoo FCVX10, 100 watts, feeding a 71-foot end fed. Struggling with a flat top, about 25 foot, running east to west. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Yeah, I'm running a 100 watts as well with the FT710. Barefoot. I've got a homebrew fan dipole with the apex just about 50 feet. It covers, well, it's set up to cover 40, 20, and 10. Back to you.
No, Roger, yeah, doing a fine job, and yeah, the band's a bad noise, and it's been rough cooking here lately, and 20 meters, man, it's just been real hit and miss. 1 minute the DX was there, and the next minute he was gone for about 30 minutes before he popped back up, and I really hadn't heard much on 10, 12, 15, 17. It's all been pretty quiet. I've got a fairly new 4-element Yagi up at about 30 foot for that Magic Band to 6 meter, and by golly, I'm hoping to put that thing to work this year a little bit there, over.
Yeah, roger that. I know it's been kind of up and down, in and out. I got a friend of mine over in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I seen some people posting on Facebook, and I told him, I said, man, 6 meters supposed to be open, and I just got him kind of turned on the FT8, and either way, he got on there, and he's made several contacts. It's been a good deal there. Back to you.
So, Roger, I don't do the FT8, I do a little CW. And this is a home call, originally from upstate New York. And this was my dad's vanity call. Dad became silent September of 22. And I was able to drop my original novice call that I had since '86. And carry, with the help of my brother and the SBC, of course, I was able to be granted Dad's vanity call. My brother Mark, also a ham, back in upstate New York, has carried our grandfather's call for about the last 25 years. And there's also some other ham operators in and around the family in upstate New York still. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, roger that. Well, I failed to, that's a good deal though, man, that you was able to pick up your dad's call. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I'm glad that worked out for you. You say it was you and your brother. You faded a little bit, but I got the gist of what you're saying. I see we got some more folks lurking out there. Let me get you a standby minute, and I'll see if I can bring some more folks in here with us to chat.
Yeah, QSL, K2SHN.
All right, we'll break with K2SHN and any check-ins, anybody anywhere for the raw ones tonight. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to bring you in with this conversation we got going. Please come down with your call. Check-ins for the raw ones. Anybody anywhere, please come now. I hear my buddy Kevin up in Iowa. I'm sure you're running QRP. I couldn't really make you out, but I recognize the voice there, bud. Yeah, I could hear you in there again, but I could not make you out. Mike over in Arkansas, could you hear Kilo Zero Kilo Lima Bravo?
K2SHN. I've got just a very light copy on it here over the white noise. I can tell he's in there, but it would be a struggle to carry on with you. So.
Yeah, roger that. I couldn't make out what he was saying, but I just recognized the voice, and I seen him in the chat. I knew he was going to try. Kevin, I hope you hear me, but I'm gonna put you on the log, and maybe we might can get you a little better later on. But I can't make out what you're saying, but I can recognize the voice. All right, well, we'll break with Kevin, Kilo Oscar, or Kilo Zero Kilo Lima Bravo, and I guess me and you'll pick it back up, Mike. Just running this little humble station here. It's been growing. I got my ticket last year. I'm trying to think. It was right there. I guess it was in June, and then I passed my general in late August, and started working HF, and just been trying to grow the little station here a little bit at a time. I'm sure you know how that goes.
Oh, Roger, K2SHN. Yeah, I've done that once or twice over the years, in and out of the hobby, but, would always get the friendly reminders from Grandpa and Dad to, make sure you keep the, get the renewals in time and keep the call sign active, even if you didn't have a radio all the time, and really glad I did over the years, and being able to have my original novice call up until November 1st, 2022 actually is when I got granted my dad's vanity call to carry it on. So it was pretty cool to carry the original novice call that long. The backup rigs here in the shack are a few years older. Mostly green boxes, heat kits, hot water 101. There's two of them here in the shack. One is on the bench getting refilled, and the other one is actually in line, and that is on 20 meters. And then behind me is the hot water 16, and I've got a couple of crystals for it, as well as the HT10 UFO on the side, and the old heat kit 14 on here. And then a few years back, my brother sent one of our grandpa's old J38 straight keys, and that's plugged into the DX10. Just a few radios here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger that. It sound like you've been through quite the setup. You know, back in the late 80s, I guess, I was still pretty big in CB, and I had a friend of mine. He took the test. He passed. I don't know how far he got, and he kept trying to get me in the early 90s to get in, and I wasn't down for it at the time. But I'll tell you, looking back, I sure wished I'd have got in then. I just didn't really realize what all the hobby entailed, what it was all about, other than just playing radio.
Oh, Roger, yeah, growing up with, between Dad and Grandpa, my mom's father actually, and, going between the houses during, summer vacations, weekends, or holidays, we were always around them, and just kind of took fascination to, what they were doing down there at all hours of the night, and why they were yelling at the radio, and, why Dad had his own coffee pot down there, and doing this thing they called contesting, and, my brother and I got introduced to that in a soldering iron, building our Houston 5400, the first radio that we shared back home in New York, and Mom would come downstairs and remind us, hey, you have school in the morning, and Dad said, leave them boys alone, they contesting right now. I'll make sure they're up to school, or I'll call them in sick myself. Over.
Oh man, that's pretty cool there. Yeah, that's one thing that I hadn't really got into is the contest, and I don't know that I'm just not one to work that fast. I love to work POTA. I love to hunt POTA, and I love to activate. Just the weather's been kind of bad, and you know how it is springtime over around our area. It's just nasty. And it's either that or the weather's good and I've got to work. It's just always something. But yeah, that's pretty neat that you got to grow up in the hobby. I sure wished I'd have had that opportunity. Now I grew up on a barrier island just south of Mobile, Alabama, called Dolphin Island. I don't know if you know about it, but I grew up on boats. So I mean, we was always on the radio. There was time where we had nothing but CBs, and then eventually moved up to VHFs. But yeah, so I mean, I've been around radios. It just wasn't amateur radio, if you will. Back to you.
Yeah, KJ5GVQ. No, how cool, man! How cool. I grew up on the water at Lake Ontario, and did a little bit of boating, not a whole lot. Mostly we fished off the bank. Since it was about a 10-minute ride on our bicycles from our grandparents' house to the water edge of Lake Ontario. It was almost in their backyard, and the last few years, living in Arkansas since about 2003. I've had a couple of boats here and there, and the last 5 years I've been doing a lot of benefit bass tournaments, and I've got a Skeeter bass boat in the 18-foot Skeeter bass boat in the garage now, and just waiting for that river to calm down a little bit so we feel a bit safer being out there on the water, but do enjoy fishing and being around the water, and every once in a while I'll take an H2 with me, as long as I'm not fishing a tournament and I'm just out there relaxing and social distancing it seems good at a time. And, I'll shed on one or two of the 2 indicators while I'm sitting up there on the front deck of the boat and hoping to bring home the big picture. Hey,
I got that. I tell you what, I've been wanting I got a little 18-foot aluminum flatboat, and I like to do a little catfishing around some of these lakes I got close by, and I've been tempted to throw my POTA rig on the bow of the boat and see if I can't drift fish and try to make some contacts there just floating around the lake.
Well, hey, man, that would actually be pretty cool. I think that would be a lot of fun, being able to do POTA as a maritime mobile out there on the boat, man. That'd be all right for sure. And I enjoy working the POTAs as well. Matter of fact, I just got my 700 certificates on the old page, Facebook page there for us, or app or whatever the hell they call that thing. And I've hit 700 of them. I've got all 50 states and a couple of the, trying to get a couple of the DX ones now, you know, trying to chase a few of those. But, man, here lately, it's, I've been happy just to work anybody's stateside.
Yeah, this is Kilo Juliet 5 Golf Victor Quebec to Raw Ham. Yeah, I agree with you. Band's just been, it's been horrible. And I started dabbling with that FT8, and I never thought I'd ever get into it. I just, from the first time that I'd looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that's not my bag. But with band conditions, yeah, it kind of turned into my bag. When band's bad, you can get over there and still make contacts. But it's bad enough, though, that I hadn't really been doing much SSB. And when I went POTA'd over last weekend with a friend of mine, it was like I was starting all over, and I was used to working pile-ups, but, man, I was flustered.
No, Roger, yeah, no, there's a few that I've worked a handful of times already now, and man, it's they say there's been a dramatic decrease in the amount of contacts with all the propagation issues we've had here, and not just across one band, it's been across the whole spectrum pretty much. And seeing that there's been a lot of solar flare activity going on, and just really kind of hoping the atmosphere settles down a little bit. And we got Field Day weekend coming up here in a couple of weeks, and looking forward to setting up with the local Mount Magazine radio club up on top of Mount Magazine, and try to drop that 2-call time for a little bit to the 5-call, and I'm sure I'll butcher the hell out of that at least once or twice. Usually do, but and of course, Mother Nature's really on our side because we're not too far from each other, and I'm sure you guys have gotten about as much rain as what we've seen here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do for a field day this year. I'm affiliated with a couple of different clubs, but me and that buddy of mine that we POTA a lot, we've been talking about just trying and going and setting up just as if we was POTA, and and just see how long we could take it. I don't know. I got to look into I don't really know what all the rules are. I kind of figure as long as we got the exchange, we just submit our logs. But he acted like there's going to be more to it. But I don't know. I got to look into it. Back to you.
No, Roger, I don't think it's really that just a whole lot. I mean, I've done it from the house a few times with that M3J, JFP logging software, and just run the one delta and just go with it, and then I'll take off and go to one or two local clubs within 50 miles of the house, and I'll go hang out and spend 2-3 hours at one, and then take off and go spend 2-3 hours at another, and then come back home and play some more. So it's not it really isn't too bad as long as you just hang the right indicators for your group when you're out there, man. Should be good to go with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. I'd like to try to set up a tent and maybe stay, but I like your idea of bouncing around from, different parks. I don't see why you couldn't do it. Sound like it'd be a good time. I'm just hoping the conditions are going to be good. Well, let me reach out and see if we can. I hadn't heard anybody. I figured somebody'd say comment. But let me break with you a minute and see if I can bring some more folks in here. Sure would love to get them on the log tonight. So this is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec to Raw Ham. Still looking for check-ins for the raw ones. We'd love for you to come join me and K2SHN out of Arkansas. We'd love to bring y'all to the conversation. Anybody, anywhere, please come now with your call.
Alpha India 5, Foxtrot Bravo.
Alpha India 5, Foxtrot Bravo. Scott, how you doing, bud? It's good to hear you on the radio. I feel like we hadn't done this in a while. And Mike, this is one of the original raw ones over here with us this evening.
I've been doing pretty good.
Roger. Bravo, good evening, Scott. Kilo 2, Sugar, Hotel, November, KJ5GVQ, Mike over here in Western Arkansas.
You go from extremely audible to...
Yeah, Scott, I lost you. You and Mike doubled there for a minute, but I think we might be too close. I believe he's got a better copy on you than I do. Mike, can you pick him up?
Man, Richie, I heard him there for a minute when he came in, and then the white noise kind of came back up here, and I lost him. And I'm gonna step off on the side here for a minute, and I've got to check some messages on the phone and see what time the better half's getting out of work tonight. And my coffee cup's been empty for about 15 minutes, and we're going to have to go rectify that situation. Over.
Hey, I roger that. If my cup's empty, we're going to have to fix something about that. Well, don't run off mad. We still going to be sticking around, so jump back in here. You get that coffee cup filled. Over.
Yeah, Roger. I'm going to leave the radio on here for a minute. I might have to take my puppy out real quick. I've got a 4-year-old rescue chihuahua that used to travel on the big truck with me. He enjoys being home a lot more now, but sometimes he has to run up the front door for a minute too. So we're going to step out for a minute, but we'll be around listening, man. As long as the band holds up, we'll jump back in. And it's been fun, man. Had a good time hanging out here, and sure look forward to it. And we'll get to come back in again and spend some more time with y'all here in sand conditions going through, and we'll get a whole bunch more. This K2SHN. We'll be right back.
All right, Mike. Well, we'll break with you, K2SHN, and I'm going to try to pick Alpha India 5, Foxtrot Bravo back up. I lost you there, Scott. I hope you can read me, and I can read you when you come back.
Well, I got a copy on you now. You're coming through as a 5x5, but the USB keeps taking you down to 0. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. Well, you come up substantially from that last. When you first threw your call out, you was great, but then you just went off in the weeds. But I got a good solid S8 on you.
Okay, well, you stand up there with an S5 at my end, at least for a little bit, but this kind of interference is not unusual on 40 during the day. We need to be doing this after the sun goes down.
Yeah, roger that. I know what you're saying, but 7 o'clock's just whenever I wanted to try to keep this thing rolling. But you're absolutely right. I probably should have went to 20 meters. I thought about it, but I don't know. I figured we'd just stick out here because that's where we started. I don't know.
Yeah, I checked out the Space Weather Radio site, and we don't have a radio blackout at the moment, but it is not the best conditions for not having the radio blackout. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I've been looking at the VOA cap. That's since I got that ham clock running, that's been my kind of go-to. And just looking at it, because I can kind of click around and set the DX or wherever I'm trying to reach, and it'll tell me, hey, what bands is open, which ones is closed, and it'll give me a visual picture of what's what as well. I'm really, really digging it. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger on that. Well, what can I say? This is radio. You got to live with it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, if it, it don't ever fail until it fails, right? And it still ain't failing. It might not be as great as it was, or can be, or will be. Like you say, once it gets dark. But we're dealing with it best we can.
Yeah, Roger on that, Richard. I'm also looking right now at the X-ray background and absorption on each of the bands. And right at the moment, the entire northern American continent is covered by an X-ray emission, so I'm not surprised where we got that from.
Yeah, Roger, I just hadn't schooled enough on reading and understanding all that. So I don't really follow it as well as I should. I need to study up on it some more and learn it. But as we've been talking for the last little bit, I guess since about the last 30 minutes, I've noticed the waterfall's getting way more active. So, I don't know, I guess the gray line's approaching, but it's still a long ways away.
Yeah, most of the activity I'm seeing on the waterfall right now are other stations. A little bit lower in frequency than we're at, but the static on the waterfall is still there.
Yeah, and when I first turned the rig on, it was on 20 meters. It seemed like the noise was pretty high there. And I didn't stick around. I just kind of last minute come in here and got set up. My youngest set of twins turned 10 today, Andrew and Ann, and so we had them a little birthday party here at the house. We're going to do some things. We're going to take them to the bowling alley. I was talking about doing it this weekend, but I'm on call, so that's not going to happen. I believe we're going to try to do it next weekend. Back to you.
Roger on that. Yeah, I've been trying to get somebody to agree to go to the Oklahoma City Zoo while I still have the money set aside for it. But he keeps doing strange things. Yesterday, she dribbled her cell phone as if it was a basketball.
Now, who was that? I didn't quite get all of what you said, but she Googled something about basketball.
Yeah, the young lady I've been trying to get to take her and her daughter to the Oklahoma City Zoo. Some way or another, she was fumbling with her phone and dribbled it like a basketball and shattered the crystal on it, so she has to get that fixed to this one.
Yeah, the noise is starting to cover you up, bud. I still didn't quite get what you said. You'll have to tell me about it later on, I guess. I don't know. Well, if we would have done 20, it ain't no way me and you'd have been able to talk anyway,
Yeah, that's right. But, your incoming signal is starting to drop off even more. We're in a transition period between day and night, and it's not good from 40 meters. It's really going downhill in the morning.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was a while ago when I couldn't hardly hear you, except for you. I can hear you, just it's not as good as it was a minute ago. You're just down there in the noise, in the weeds.
Well, what can I say? I got plenty of weeds in the backyard to mow. Anyway, Richard, I'm going to send you a text message about what I was trying to tell you about. And I need to get off of here and do a little work around the house. I've been laying on my ass all day today because of cleaning 3 of the 5 cat boxes, which was about 90 pounds of dirty cat pants. So I need to be careful tonight and not overdo it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you come up then. I got what you was talking about, a text message, but you come back up, I can hear you good. Yeah, and that cleaning all them litter boxes, that gets kind of old. And me and you about the same. I think you got me beat on the number of cats, but yeah, we still got too many of them as it is over here. So have a good evening, Scott. Maybe I'll catch you on a repeater tomorrow, and we can do it again.
Okay, Richard. You have a great night. 73. Give Tina a hug and a kiss for me, and we'll talk at you later. KJ5GVQ, Alpha India 5, Foxtrot Bravo.
73, Scott. It's good chatting with you, and I don't know, I noticed earlier we got a little weather up to the northwest. I don't know if it's going to get to us, but it might something you want to keep your eye on. 73 for now. This is KJ5GVQ. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec to Raw Ham. Looking for more check-ins. Anybody, anywhere would love to come get in on this conversation. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you've been up to. Please come down with your call. Let us get you in the log. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Victor Quebec to Raw Ham. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you in the log this evening. Got a little rag chew net. We ain't many of us left, but we sure would love to chat with you. Please come with your call. We're looking for check-ins for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere. Love to hear from you. Please come with your call. Check-ins. We know the band conditions ain't good, but we'd love to chat. Please come on in there with your call.
Okay, 2SA10, I'm back, Rick.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, I ain't got nobody else in there. Look like it's probably going to be a short night tonight, but like Scott was saying, we really need it to be dark, you know, for 40 meters to come alive.
Yeah, Roger. Do y'all get on here about every evening?
We just do it on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. I've missed a couple of weeks with different things going on and hadn't been able to get on, and I've tried 20 a few nights, and in all honesty, with it getting, you know, staying daylight so late, I may ought to try to switch to 20, but 20's been horrible as well, you know.
Yeah, Roger. I was over there earlier, man, and I think I worked like in an hour and a half. I was cruising up and down the band. I worked one hole, and then that Tango Mike 160 ICU that ran through that Tesla red station was able to work in again today. But man, that was about it. And when you first started to do that.
Yeah, what special event station was that you was able to work?
Yeah, Mexico, 160, Italy, Tango, United. It's special event ICU station out of France.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, that ought to have been pretty neat. Something like that's always fun to work if you get a chance to. I tell you, here lately, I've kind of had my sights set on working satellites, trying to get set up to do it. I've heard the ISS a few times, or heard people communicating through it, but I hadn't made my first contact yet. But I know I'm about to knock on the door. There, over.
Hey, Rob, our grandpa was really big VHF, as well as satellite, and my dad was too, and did a lot of the satellite and some of the old packets and RCC light stuff back in the day, and I think my brother still has it somewhere, one of Dad's original QSL cards from the Apollo Soyuz contact that he made. I have had one QSO with the ISS in about the last 3 years, and kind of hoping to get to work them again. And I like to tinker with a little bit of that myself. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing about this hobby. There's so much, you know. You can I like to call them rabbit holes, and you can just fall down them and just keep right on going, you know, as deep as you want to go.
Oh, most definitely. I think really that's that's really what's kept my brother and I in the hobby as long as we have. Besides growing up between the two households in it with grandparents and in mom and dad's house, and our grandpa was even made the QSC magazine as well as dad. On a few occasions, Grandpa was like back 50s and 60s, and Dad was like in the 70s and 80s, and Grandpa was in there as well. And I've got boxes of QSC magazines stacked up here in the shack, the closets. Hell, I've got some in the bedroom the wife gets on me about I need to do something with. But I've got some that have some articles on my grandpa and stuff from back in the day in there that pretty cool old reading, and seeing some of the old articles and the old ads in there from the 60s and 70s compared to where it is today is pretty neat to reflect on. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. I know that's something you got to be proud of, and like you say, to be able to basically step back in time, that's got to be something pretty exciting.
Yeah, Roger, it's definitely a lot of fun, and occasionally have a company or another hand stop by and get to show off the truck a little bit. I've got my own room in the house. We got a little 3-bedroom house here, and the wife and I have our bedroom, and she has her room, and then I have mine. So and hers, my wife is Asian. She is from the country of Laos. She's Laotian Chinese. And this is pretty good. We're about the same age, both in our mid-50s. And she's Buddhist. And so she has her own room in the house that's dedicated to her and her stuff. And she's got her door she can go to. And I have mine.
Well, I'm over here set up in what used to be a dining room. My room's kind of a disaster area right now because I'm making some changes, but I'm kind of into old Tyco model trains, and I've got quite the layout that I'm trying to put together, and I hadn't worked on it in a while. I need to have my rear end kicked. The amateur radio hobby is kind of taking over, but either way, I'm working on everything at once. You know how that goes. But yeah, so this wound up being my little shack, my little man cave. Actually, one of my kids dubbed it the trainus. So yeah, Dad's always in the trainus.
Okay, Roger, man. Well, that's way cool because Dad had, we had our own training room with Dad in Henrietta, just south of Rochester where we grew up. And we had an 8x16 layout in an L-shaped design to the Conroe line in upstate New York, done in HO gauge. And when my second wife passed and I took everything out of my old farmhouse I was living in and remarried my third wife, now young. And we bought this little house here in town. Besides, I couldn't stay in the old house anymore, man. I took my 4x8 N-gauge table down. It had the HO Yardmaster layout on it, but it was choreographed and scaled into N-gauge. So I had like multiple outer links, the figure eight through the middle, some ups and downs, and the whole, the streets with the pinstriping, all the buildings went up. Did no MDCC, strictly DC, like to keep it old school. And all that stuff is packed up in plastic totes here in the shack with me, and once we get a few things squared away, after getting settled in the new house here in the last 2-3 years, and maybe add a little bit more space on the back, the N-gauge step will be back up and functional. Over.
Oh man, yeah, I bet that'd be something to see. N-gauge, yeah, I'm just dealing with the HO stuff. I've got 11 and a half foot, 11 foot one way and 12 foot the other way, and it's kind of a 4x4 area at the end where it makes its turnarounds. I got a double loop with I got a bunch of track rows, and got a pretty good sized yard that I'm working on, and various little industries everywhere. I hadn't started any on the scenery or buildings, and my problem is I can't stop playing with them to do all that. So yeah, I need to buckle down, and I've got a couple of my daughters is really good with art stuff, and I've kind of talked to them about helping me out with it, and I know they want to. We just got to make it happen. You know how that goes. Back to you.
Oh, well, yeah, that's really cool, man. And I do like the HO stuff. I actually switched from the HO to the N-Gauge. Just for something a little different. And just to be able to add more detail and more track. And by golly, you can put a lot of N-Gauge track on a 4x8 table, I promise. I have right around 230 rolling stock, and I think the last count was somewhere around 50 engines, switchers, a couple of steam locomotives, got a couple of Kodak tanker cars from Rochester, New York, and one that my dad and brother sent from Genesee Beer Company in Rochester, New York, the home of the Genesee Cream Ale, and I have them, their boxcars. It's actually here behind the switcher on top of my DX10. I've got the switcher, a Kodak car, and a Genesee car here on top of the radio, because I just couldn't put them in the box. So this...
Yeah, I heard that. Man, it sounded like you had quite the layout, and a whole lot of working stock there.
Yeah, I had almost 8 years into my table before we had to take everything down, and hate to expect that, but it's okay. I know where it is, and I would have to sacrifice a lot of my radio room to put the train set up, and with losing Dad 2 years ago, well, almost 3 years ago in September. And, having Dad's call now, and my really having Grandpa's call for many years now, and putting everything I have into, building the radio back up with some of the old school stuff and like Dad and Grandpa had. The trains will be okay, man. I know where they are, and one day again, we will be riding the rails.
Yeah, man, I can respect that. That'll be a glorious day, I'm sure. And y'all get to spend a lot of time with that then. I know that's got to be well missed. Yeah. Man, you can't get all sad on me over here now. You'll have me down in the dumps.
Oh, it's all good, man. You might look at some of that N-Gauge stuff, man. It is a bit smaller and a bit more detailed to work with, but you may actually, with the size of the table that you have there, you've got a lot of real estate, and you may be able to incorporate some N-Gauge lines to do like on a back rail. It's like a drop-off type scenery with a loop of an N-Gauge line running back even behind it to authenticate distance and travelers. And I've actually played with that a little bit. I might have some 27 stuff. And I've got my N-Gauge over there. I thought, oh, your God, you couldn't even see one of my, you couldn't even see half my train behind one of the cars. But it was still pretty cool there for a minute.
Yeah, you went down in the noise there for a little bit, but I was able to pull some of that out. About you doing that with an N-Gauge. I don't really have room left on the layout to add anything like that. But it would be neat and to see the different ones, passing. But I do have a double loop. Of course, they don't just run all side by side. They got their little crooks and turns and whatnot. And so it is really neat that I'll have one running in one direction, one running in the other direction. I don't have any DCC stuff. It's all old analog, but really I love that. And my buddy, I don't know if he's still on. I seen he in the chat in Covington, Louisiana. He's the one that really kind of got me fired up in it. And excited. He comes up around the 4th of July every year, and he might be disappointed at me because I ain't really got a whole lot done since the last time he was here. But I'm looking forward to them coming up and me and him getting to play some trains. I wish I could get them in amateur radio. Back to you.
Well, Roger, yeah, thank you, Richard. Ben kind of went up and down on it, but keep copying that. And that'd be cool, man. That you can talk radio on what you're playing trades, man, and say, hey, look, you know, we can take a break from this and sit down in front of one of these and third-party traffic and let them experience the firsthand and put the mic in his hand and have him stick it in the wind. But, man, I'm going to jump back out with him and spend some there and love trading stories and reading about the model railroad stuff, man. That's just really cool, man, and something to pass on to the youngins as well, and be able to carry on that family tradition, man. That's good stuff. I do miss mine, but by golly, they're close by. We're all in the same room together, so no hard feelings, man. They'll be back up and rolling again here soon, or I'd even look into maybe hanging some shelving on the wall and just making a big loop around the ceiling of the shack for the meantime until we get to where we can actually do another table up. So that may be one of my summer projects when it's just a little bit too long to be outside and the fish ain't biting. I'll have something else I can amuse myself with, and I'm sure the wife will appreciate that I'm staying the hell out of the way of her kitchen. Over.
Yeah, roger that. I'm sure she will appreciate that. Well, hey, I wanted to ask you if you got a good email in QRZ. I was going to drop you a QSO card. Either that, or if you can give me your email if you don't have one in QRZ.
Yeah, roger. We are good on QRZ. You got that?
All right, I think you said you are good on QRZ, but you dropped out on me or something there. I don't know if you can still read me.
Roger. 100% good QRZ. Over.
All right, good deal. Well, I got a program that'll kind of look it up for me, and so I'll make sure and get you a card out. And my buddy, he is still on. He said we're gonna work on them trains when I come back up. So yeah, we'll be spending several nights here in the trainers, that's for sure.
Man, that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Keep the little thing down on the rolling stuff, man, and we'll look forward to getting your next event tonight, man. I got it jotted down in those notebook here, and we'll be sure to pop back in, and maybe we'll have a little better day conditions, and be able to pick up a few more schedules along the way. Go ahead.
Hey, Roger, that'll be a plan. Now, I don't ever know, what frequency, how that goes, but I do post up on NetLogger, so you'll be able to find me under the raw ones. Over.
No, yeah, I use NetLogger as well with the J-List, 3905, and the other two together, so, we've got that little bit in the laptop, just have to hope, I run off a portable Wi-Fi jetpack here, and sometimes it's more risky than it is Wi-Fi, so...
All right, bud. Well, actually, we coming up to 8 o'clock, and I usually shut down unless we just got a whole bunch of folks, and I know you was talking about sliding on out, and I've got plenty of things that I need to be doing as well. But I really do appreciate you coming in this evening, and I definitely enjoyed talking with you, talking about trains and radios and life in general. Hopefully we get to do it again another Wednesday. Over.
Well, we're looking forward to it for sure, and it's definitely been fun this evening, and getting to visit and meet some new folks here, and I'm good on QRZ. It is a small picture of the shack on QRZ as well. Of course, the update is just a whole bunch with the trains on the top of the radio, but you get the idea. That's fun enough to make sense. Take care, Richard. Had a lot of fun tonight. We'll look for you again on here or one of the other bands, and maybe that Magic band one day. Who knows? Kilo 285, Cross Victor, Quebec. Kilo 2 Sugar Hotel, November. Good evening from West Arkansas.
Good evening, my friends. 73s until we meet again down this coax. You have a great evening. I'll put a call out one more time for check-ins, and we'll see where it goes from there. Check-ins. We at the bottom of the list. Anybody, anywhere. We'd love to get you on the log. Otherwise, we're going to shut down for the evening.
November 7th,
All right, I picked up a November 7, and I think it might have been Mike Tango Whiskey, but I wasn't for sure you was in the noise.
Roger, you got it correct, boy.
All right, so yeah, I got you in there as November 7 Mike Tango Whiskey, Chester, out of Wyoming. QSL?
Hey, QSL, you got it. I'll copy now.
All right, man. Well, I can make you out. You're 5'4", 5'5". It's a kind of a struggle sometimes, but when you're in there good. How copy me?
Oh, you're 5'5" generally, 5'7", but what's your QTH?
QTH is Chandler, Oklahoma, about an hour east of Oklahoma City, about 20 minutes north of Shawnee, America. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm just outside of Cheyenne. I was stationed at Tinker Air Force Base, and I've got a lot of relatives around the Tulsa and Skiatook area, so I know the area pretty well. Hopefully you're not having no conditions. It looks pretty bad in a lot of places in this country.
Yeah, I didn't get all that. I heard you talking about Tinker and Skiatook, and I don't know if you was talking about the weather or what they're getting bad. It's pretty out now, and it wasn't real hot today. I don't know how hot it got. I think it may have got to 80, 81, something like that. But other than that, man, it's been nice. We hadn't had all this rain that we've been dealing with. Back to you.
Dry spring. Finally, starting to see some color in the grass and some of the flowers, but the moisture's very nice. It should have been gloomy.
Yeah, I copied you. You've had a really dry spring. We haven't had that, but you know what's going to happen is we're going to have a dry summer. So I don't know. I hate to see it leave us, but man, we could take a little break. You know, we don't need it every day, but that's how it'll be. It'll just totally dry up. Well, Bud, I'm having a tough time reading you. I'm hoping you're good on QRZ, and I'll shoot you a card if you got a good email there, Roger.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't do any cards right now. I just moved back to Wyoming from Mississippi about 2 years ago, and just getting the station online.
All right, I heard you say you got a dipole, and you said you moved up from Mississippi. What part of Mississippi?
I live just south of Jackson, a small town called Byram, between Jackson and Perry, Mississippi.
Yeah, roger that. I can respect wanting to come back home. I'm a transplant myself. I'm originally from Dauphin Island, Alabama. And you said Byron, and I may have my streets wrong. I want to say 63, but I don't think that's right. I think I know about where you're talking about. Maybe that's 64 that goes from Jackson down to Hattiesburg. I don't know. It's been so long since I've been down that way.
And I-20 intersection. I'm not going to lose you. The noise is really bad. Thanks for picking me up. You're the first contact I've had all day.
Hey, bud. Well, I mean, I do this net on Wednesdays at 7 to 8, 8:30, depending on. But it's been kind of light, especially with the band conditions on Wednesday nights. But you can find us on NetLogger on Wednesdays, and I've been streaming us live on YouTube, although the audio is pretty bad. I don't know if you want to check it out. But, yeah, I appreciate you coming to the call, and like I say, the noise is horrible. Maybe we can do it again another night. This is KJ5GVQ. All right, I don't know if Chester can still read me. N7 MTW 73 for now. And hopefully you can hear me. We'll break with you, and we'll put one more call out. We're in the bottom of the list. Check-ins, check-ins, check-ins for the raw ones. Anybody, anywhere, we'd love to get you on the log tonight. Please come with your call. All right, nothing heard, nothing heard. I do appreciate everybody that come in, and from Kilo Juliet 5 Golf Victor Quebec, the raw ham.